it takes to bring these powerful, amazing stories to us.
Yeah, so thank you for having me there. And I want to say, um, so American Documentary is a media arts nonprofit. We produce shows for television, and we have three documentary shows, two on PBS, one on channel World Channel. These are public media stations. So public media is media that the people pay for. So from our tax dollars, we're funding a media system, which is very unique when you look at the state of the world and who licenses media. So we're the POB is the longest running documentary series on television. So we present about 12 to 14 new stories every season. And our stories come from all over the world. We're one of the few documentary series that presents international stories to the public. And in a state where there's genocide going on and so many issues that are trying to, I know some journalists, they call it the term is attention crisis that we're in right now, where so many things are vying for our attention. So to get people to sit still to watch even long form content is going to be a challenge in the future. So short content is really popular right now. And we've been creating an appetite for short content. But a film can take you places that are right? You'll touch things in you, spaces in you, can have photography, dance, acting, all these forms of expression. So it's such a powerful tool to reach people and get them thinking about the world. It's greater than the world. So my work is really get film to the people that make the most impact. So people are working on mental health. There's a film about how the medical system has been very harmful to Black women. We can get that film to advocates and activists and mothers, parents and fathers, and get them to local resources, get them in a space like this, present local resources in the community. So it's actually a community building is at the center of my job. And the goal is to make an impact, whether it's in policy, community change, or just one person's life.
And before you said it, I'm still sitting here thinking the term impact, that everything that you do relative to your profession is all about making a strategic impact for people and bringing awareness. That is amazing. Now, do you feel like, I think I already know the answer to this question, do you feel like you're walking in the purpose?
Yes, I very much do. I feel like I get to sit, first of all, I work with independent artists from all over the world, so the way that they see the world is continuously learning and presenting stories in these creative, artistic ways. I mean, I think I heard one Black filmmaker say one time that you ask a Black artist about their craft, watch them light up. Because what's, we talk about social justice so much in our work, which is important because we are in a struggle constantly, especially in political struggle. But there's something about the struggle to come together and make work and collaborate when you're making a creative vision come to life that doesn't get talked about. So the work that you see on the screen, the amount of people it takes to get 5 seconds on camera is, you wouldn't believe it. So there's an army of folks behind these films that are, coming from a place of care. And my work is about caring for film participants. These are real people on the street. I don't want them to be exploited in a post-screen interview where they gave you their life, they showed you their bedroom on film, and now they're asking more questions about who was in your bed last night. So one thing I also do is work around participant care and supporting the people who have told their stories, so they're not exploited. The filmmaker will go on to get the awards and celebration of the people in the film. We would have no documentaries if people weren't courageous to share their stories. So they, I know grandmothers sometimes, people in my family, our Jamaican immigrant family, don't like to be on camera, but it's so important that we tell our story and we document and we give those pep talks to get those people on the camera because if we don't tell our stories, they'll kill us and tell us that, say that we loved it, we enjoyed it. Those are those sets.
And again, and let me admonish everyone in this room. We're living in a very unprecedented time in which there is a conscious effort to rewrite history. And if we don't tell our stories, someone else will tell them. And we may not like what they tell. And what they tell may not be the truth of what happened. That's why it's so important for us to illuminate counter stories that contradict and challenge the existing narratives that are already present in society. So once you all leave here today, if you've got some elders in your family that are keepers of the family history, go home and I challenge you to have them document those stories because we need those stories. We need to be able to transmit those stories to our youth. A lot of times our youth, we're wondering why our youth are in crisis. Well, part of that is because we have not shared that generational knowledge with them that is essential for them to understand where they came from and where they're going. So I applaud you, sir, for all of the work that you're doing, and not forgetting about the people that you're living in. Wow. So last but not least on our panel, we have Dr. Elijah Nicholas. Now, I call Dr. Nicholas PTR. A preacher, teacher, and reacher. Okay. So I had an opportunity to interview for a docu-series that I did back in 2021. But you have a new show. You have gone on to do some amazing. So tell us about Focal Point with Dr. Elijah Nicholas. How did that come about?
Wow, so first of all, thank you for having me. I am blessed to be on this panel with you. Really great. And I want to say that I'm Dr. Elijah Nicholas and my pronouns are he, him. And that may be obvious to some, but I always I strive to normalize the trans experience. However, I never want to not say who I am and normalize it so much that we disappear. So our pronouns are he, him. I was assigned a female sex and birth transition from female to male about 2018. And so Focal Point is a show about real people, real change, and real stories. And we just wrapped last week our final episode of this season, and you can catch us on CBS Atlanta on Saturdays at around noon, on 11:30 noon. And so it's a talk show that really normalizes the trans experience without letting people know that's what we're doing. We have celebrity guests who are celebrities in mainstream, and then we have guests who have stories that just need to be told so that the person who is viewing from the television, YouTube, or wherever, they can relate to that story. And every story has a theme of healing on some level. And then we have trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming guests, either every show or every other show. And that's a part of normalizing the trans experience. I am a talk show host. Yes, I am trans, but I'm not a trans talk show host. I will say, however, that I am the first and only Black trans male talk show host on major television network. And I say that because that's a part of normalizing the trans experience.
And so, how have you found moving into that space? What has that experience been like for you, being who you are and walking your purpose?
So it's been very interesting because I'm also an actor. And so I transitioned right at the onset of acting. I literally just fell into it. And so I experienced which bathroom. On set, there was like, back then it was like, probably still isn't, there was no gender neutral bathroom. And so in the middle of my transition, it was like, okay, where do I go? And so from my lived experiences, I started saying, why isn't there a gender neutral bathroom? Why do they want me to change with the women? So that's when I began to think about the gap, closing the gap. And so to answer your question, it's really been a very, very surreal and blessed experience, like my transition. To be quite honest. I wrote down what I wanted to experience and allow the universe to bring those things to me. I lead with love. I don't lead with being trans. And I lead with my experience in finding the connection with whomever I'm sharing space with. And because of that, things have just fallen into place. I mean, honestly, we started this talk show with no resources, zero resources. And my partner, Marissa, who is here, said, just do it. Let's do it. And then everything just literally started coming together.
Wow, I love the fact that you said lead with love and everything else follows. Imagine if we could all just lead with love and allow that to happen. So now, and again, my next question section fell right into it. So in your 2021 article with Ryan Index, you stated your mission is to illuminate love and light around the world. Um, and to watch and to see the doors that love have opened for you is absolutely amazing. What else can we look for to see you doing in the future?
Well, I want to say that my book Joy just came out, and so it's a book about choosing and walking, living in joy. And so the next season of Focal Point will actually be focused on understanding what joy is for people. And if they're not experiencing joy, helping them navigate to a space of love, joy, and life. So we'll be going next season and probably starting in we'll get some money, but starting in October for the next season. And those will be longer interviews. The interviews now, if you haven't watched it, they're shorter, 6 to 7. We talk about the attention span. And so we'll be doing longer interviews and sharing it as a series of 6 to 10 clips to tell the story.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for the work you're doing. So I have one final question for each of our guests. As I mentioned, we are living in an unprecedented time where we are seeing the erosion of not only rights for people of color, but of course LGBTQ plus rights as well. How are you, or what will you do, or how will you use your artistry to meet this moment, this political moment that we're in? How will you use what you're doing to counter the narrative that is being presented for us?
For me, I think for me, I I want to say I'm gonna keep doing what I'm currently doing, just going even harder. I think that right now, whether this moment feels very intense, but it's not new. And so I think that it's just about like really staying focused and continuing to build, continuing to tell our stories and be unapologetic and being unapologetic and like people know about these stories. Because that's a whole tool too, we have to be able to teach people and they receive it so that they feel and they don't feel them right now. They want us to feel isolated alone. And I think in building community and telling stories and bringing stories to people, then we can come back and they can better
Yeah, I would have to do that one as well. I think something that also doesn't get talked about is just like the leadership leaders here on the stage, and leaders when we have in shows, taking care of ourselves. And I think for me, it's really centering in the spirit of wellness, and back to the foundation, making sure that I'm good, and that for me, I can pour to other people once I am sustaining myself, because I know the work that I'm passionate about, I just make sure that I'm well as I'm doing that. Because they want us to be sick, tired, and feeling like we can't go anywhere, and to combat that is really this sense of consistency and being in a place of rest. I really am focused on that right now throughout this like terrible time. But like you said, wow, you know, our ancestors have been here, we understand, look at history, but really, how can we make sure that we are good first, and then stay trained first? So then we can continue.
Cannot pour from it. All right.
Yeah, I think, I'm 44 and I feel old. I'm 44 and I feel like I sit in my adult experience and I'm also a father of children. It's routine, and I feel like I sit with elders, always have, and also younger adults, and I'm supporting is really part of my mission. I feel like a gatekeeper, having an executive position is very few black folks, and then very few black women. So I am saying the hard things on the table, making room for people that have experiences like have been in prison, queer folks, folks whose voices are not in the room, folks who are marginalized. One of the things we see the fact that now media being stripped by this new government, and um, what people are not talking about is that if public media goes away, all people in prison will not have access to these stories. When I visit prisons, they know the documentary season better than the street because they're tapped in and looking at it because that's their peek into the world. That's how they tell you to stay current with society, and what's happening across the world. That's their escape. So thinking about the people that public media serves, rural places that 3-year-old learn how to read, and really ushering and supporting marginalized voices coming through, predominantly black people.
Sitting at the intersection of being a veteran and now being trans, and having my nonprofit is called Global Trans Equity Project. And the Partners Project is from, she's the founder of the National Trans Disability March. And so we're doing research, first of all, in spaces to do research and reflection so that our stories that we tell are based on facts, lived experiences, facts. And so we'll continue to not only normalize the trans experience, but really elevate the experiences of veterans and individuals that are HIV. Because as I think we can see, probably, and it's not a battle for who's here first, but we know that based on this last election, it's won on the experience of and facts of transgender individuals. So it's our responsibility, my responsibility to bring that truth to light and to document it so that it's here, generations.
Zero last word.
It works out pretty well because everything that everyone has reflected the work that I've been doing. I work with a lot of women documentary myself, across the really impressive experience. And what I realized, it's called counted, is definitely not counted. You see, it goes all the way back when we were abducted and brought to this country. Someone said no, and some
local, plural, because those people are undocumented. It's about not allowing ourselves to only go off. And so as I do documentary work and record individual stories and help illuminate, educate about the present and the past, my narrative work does focus on showing what our future is. Whether it's sci-fi, whether it's through drama, comedy, continuing to remind us that we are more than the stories we have to feel like we have to cram our identity into to be seen in some small way. So for me, it really does come back to you are bigger than what they told you. You are more than what they continue to tell you you ever were. And you will do more than they allow because they may have access to what we have.
Mm. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our panel, Brandon Smith, Ronald Hinton, AJ Douglas, Assad Muhammad, and Dr. Elijah Murphy. Thank you all so very much for being part of the activity. And Big Bird ain't gonna go. Thank you all so much. All right, so while we transition to our next film, I'm going to invite two amazing individuals to the stage, and that is Leo Martinez and Ariel Storm King. So while we transition, we're going to ask that you all will prepare to come and bless us with your word. Now, over here, I'm going to highlight as they come a couple of things over here. You all see these amazing baskets over here. So make sure that you see this